Hello, Virginia. My name is Louise Lucas, representing the 18th Senatorial District. I serve as President Pro Tem of the Senate of Virginia and Chair of the Senate Finance and Appropriations Committee. Tonight, as protocol requires, we listened to Governor Glenn Youngkin's final State of the Commonwealth address. Now let me be crystal clear about what we heard. He said Virginia is thriving. What he didn't say is that families are barely surviving. He said Virginia is the best state for business. What he didn't say is that our ranking dropped last year to number 4 while Virginia federal workers got shoved out of their jobs. He said parents first. What he didn't say is that test scores failed while he was busy fighting cultural wars. He said he worked across the aisle. What he didn't say is that he vetoed progress and bipartisan bills. Youngkin wants to leave behind a legacy. But listen up, Glenn. The only thing you're leaving behind is a mess. And now Democrats will have to clean up your mess. We cannot spin failure into success, and we're not going to applaud for 4 years of chaos just because you're packing up your office. Virginia dropped to number 4, not because Virginia stopped working, not because our talent dried up, but because Virginians' federal workforce got crushed by Trump's policies and reckless federal cuts. Let's talk about what Glenn Youngkin and Virginia's outgoing Attorney General allowed to happen when DEI protections were attacked. At Virginia Military Institute, the first black superintendent was forced out due to political pressures. At the University of Virginia, the president was forced out not because he failed students, but because he refused to bow down to Trump's political demands. And now, George Mason, VMI, UVA, all caught in investigations and chaos. And when the General Assembly said no to Youngkin's board schemes, he tried to pull unconstitutional nonsense anyway. But Virginia Democrats didn't fold. We said the Constitution is the Constitution, and the Virginia Supreme Court agreed with us. Now let's talk about health care, because this is where it gets deadly serious. Youngkin tried to strip out a safety net Democrats put into the budget, because without these safeguards, even a small federal cut could put more than 600,000 Virginians at risk of losing health care coverage. And what did Glenn Youngkin do? Not a damn thing. Glenn didn't create a win in Virginia. He didn't pour into Virginia vision. He rolled back protections that made us the leaders in climate change. Strong public schools, a responsible safety net, and Medicaid expansion. And let's not forget this one. He tried to create $50 million private school voucher scheme, ripping money from public schools to benefit wealthy families. Private schools can pick who they want, teach who they want, teach what they want, reject who they want. And that is not where public school dollars belong. So here's the truth. We're moving on. We're moving to a better future. We're moving to a brighter future. And we're moving to a more inclusive future. We're focused on affordability, more money in the pockets of Virginians. And we are focused on future opportunities through higher education standards and strong public schools. And yes, Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger and a Democratic trifecta can't come soon enough. Youngkin is out of touch, tired, outdated, and he's out the back door. And soon enough, Trump will be also. So tonight, we listen to him talk, but who believes him? Because the record is clear. The damage is real. And the people watching at home, this part is for you. If you have felt ignored, dismissed, or used as a political prop, if you watch leaders play games while your bills went up, just know this. Virginia is not powerless, and we're not stuck. These damages ran rampant in Virginia, and tonight it stops. Virginia Senate Democrats will keep fighting for working families, defending your freedoms, strengthening our Commonwealth until success is within reach for every Virginian family. And you can take that to the bank.